You crawled into my heart.
Hello, everybody. I realized that we had a big date planned for 8 p.m. sharp this evening, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I just had this really lovely experience with Instagram where all of a sudden I was totally lost, like I'd never been on this page before in my entire life. And I couldn't find how to enter my own hangout session with you guys. So my apologies for being tardy to my very own party. I hope you will accept my very heartfelt apologies. Anyway, I'm super pumped because not only have I not hung out with you guys in a very long time, but there's a few things going on today. Number one, of course, we are going to be joined shortly by the one and only Tegan Quin of Tegan and Sarah, which is always fun. I always have the best time. I said the other day, I pretty much think that the only reason I join Instagram Live is to hang out with Tegan. In fact, here she is. I'll be right back. That was so stressful.
I was just watching you explain your struggles with getting onto finding Instagram Live's entry point.
OMG, I don't even know what happened. Like, I'm like, oh, I've done this 8,000 times. I've run a whole little series on it. And then all of a sudden I open it. I'm like,
I feel consistently, or I should say not consistently, I feel increasingly confused by technology. I feel like I was really killing it at the beginning of the pandemic, and then I've progressively gotten more confused.
Yeah, because why do they keep changing everything all the time? I know I'm not 90 and I could probably, be a little more up with the times, but holy smokes, it seems like I was just on it and then all of a sudden.
We are all eventually going to be that guy that was at the cat.
Yeah, my dad. Oh yeah, totally.
The best video lawyer to come out of this week, the guy that turned into the cat. I mean, my God. Anyway, but hey, thank you so much for having me on your Instagram Live, and congratulations on your big release.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me on Instagram Live, and thank you for that. I'm pretty pumped about it. I'm gonna take 2 minutes to shamelessly plug the new single that I have called Night Danger Lovers Mix. I'm very excited about it because it was a song that I wrote when I was driving home on a highway one day, and I kept driving past these big, it'll make sense why I'm plugging my own shit in a minute, guys, so just bear with me for a second.
Do you?
So, when I was driving home one night, on the highway, I kept driving past all of those big yellow road signs that, all these caution kind of signs. And the sign was like, night danger, and had this big moose on it. And I'm like, ugh, God, am I going to get sidelined by a moose driving down this highway in 5 seconds? That was thought number one. And then thought number two was imagine if the people we encountered in life came with that warning system.
Like a big,
and enter
a big yellow sign.
Yeah. And then, insert us hanging out today in honor of Lover's Day, which I'm going to qualify as being February 11th from this day forward.
I love it. Make it yours.
How are you?
I like that story because I had a joke going with a friend who I'm sure many of you will know, a wonderful Canadian artist of many different types of art, Vivek Shreya. When we became friends, she used to always, there was a bunch of us that talked about it, but I remember most aggressively talking about it with Vivek, but this idea that everybody's a green light, a yellow light, or a red light. So when you're interested in somebody, often we're really attracted to red lights, but they're you don't want, it's dangerous. Careful when you run a red light.
Night danger.
But green lights are boring. So ultimately, what we should all be striving for is yellow light.
Yeah.
So, it's a bit dangerous, but as long as you hit the yellow light when it's fresh, you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I would concur that my pattern has gone through the like green light, yellow light, red light, green light, yellow light, red light, red light. Because it's like almost like when you like when you've had enough of the red zone, the red light stage, you kind of need to replenish yourself. And the greens aren't boring or bad or anything, but it's just, it's not a red, it's not a yellow.
That's diplomatic of you. I mean, ultimately, I suppose part of my journey to picking the right partner was accepting that that green lights for me anyway were kind of boring. But you know what? Everybody should have their own rating system, and I love that yours was this song is about the idea that you could have a big giant highway sign to like imagine we all sat down and I mean I do this all the time actually when we're interviewing people to work with us. I just flat out ask people like, what is the thing you're bad at? What is something that you're just terrible at? Because I think you should just be honest. I think if somebody's like nothing, then you should run in the opposite direction. But I like transparency around issues and baggage and patterns and lean into your strengths. I think that I'm getting.
Hold the phone, Tegan. Hold the phone. Are you telling me like what if you're really shitty at relationships? What if you're like, I'm jealous as fuck, and then all of a sudden you show up at your interview and you're like, hi, I'm Tegan, and I would like to know what you're terrible at, and your potential team joiner was like, I'm really jealous in my relationships. You'd be like, great, you're hired.
No. I'd be no. It's totally a trick question. Absolutely. We're always like, but I think, but also, this so well, like, we're not just hiring somebody to go to an office every day. We live with them. We go out on the road with them. We share a very small space on a bus. You're backstage. So, like these kinds of personal questions end up being really significant because, you don't want that person on the road who's like always having a breakup, always behind the bus crying. I mean, we're living this amazing life. Anyway, all of this is, but no, I think if I went on a date with somebody and I said, what is the like thing that you're really bad at in relationships? And they said, I'm a super jealous person. I would be like, not for me.
But imagine if you had this rating system, like full on, where you could be like, hi, okay, so, exactly that. Like, and you just sort of have a checklist of the night danger things. Whatever those might be, like a ranking system of like, what am I willing to endure for the next 3 to 5 to 20 years?
Yeah. Okay. So I like this. So like, if I had to choose like a night danger sign for me, mine would be like the parent holding the child's hand. That one, like so like the idea that there's like a crossing up or whatever. Because for me, that sort of like would symbolize codependency. So I would be like danger, codependent.
Right. Mine might be the turtle crossing.
So have
you seen those?
Yeah. Are you like a slow introvert? Slow to the.
I feel like the turtle crossing might be a slow introvert.
Shelled introvert.
I mean, I'm quite introverted, so maybe 2 introverts, I'm not sure, would be. I feel like I need somebody to pull me out of my shell. So if they were a shelled introvert, kind of like myself, which you wouldn't know on Instagram Live right now, but that's because I'm by myself in my apartment, so it's actually quite safe in here. But
yeah, well, I think sometimes people think introverts are shy, although that's why I always say a shy introvert or addict, because introverts often are quite gregarious and outgoing. It's just they don't necessarily get energy from being really social.
Right.
My dog's absolutely losing its mind. I'm just gonna pop away for 1 second.
Mine's hiding upstairs, so it's good. We're good. I understand.
Georgie, please.
And everybody, that is Tegan's plant and bookshelf.
There it is.
Listen. Oh, somebody's turtle clan. Ah, see, I love this. I enjoy turtles, but let me preface this by saying I have a turtle tattooed. No, I don't. I have a frog. I'm lying. I'm lying about what my tattoo is. Yeah.
What's in your cup? Is that tea?
I mean, yeah.
Is it actually tea?
It's spicy tea. You don't have a cup. Where's your cup?
You know what? I didn't even think to pour a beverage, but it's fine.
It's fine.
It's early here. It's just after 5, so.
But we had a deal.
Yeah.
We had a deal that after 5 p.m. it was okay. That's what you said. I'm going by your words. And then I think
I
like
know.
COVID made it even an hour earlier, or maybe we just made it an hour earlier.
It's true. If I'm being totally unfun and honest, I'm doing this like a cleanse for the month of February, so I can't have any sugars, so I can't have alcohol. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. But it's good. I
Yeah.
think it's good like once a year to like take a second and assess your relationship to all the things in your life,
Agreed.
and that my favorite thing in the world is settling down at the end of a long productive day with a bowl of chips and a nip of bourbon. And so it's going to be amazing when I get to do that in a few weeks.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Well, you can get chips without sugar, so you could at least be halfway there in February.
Well, I shouldn't say it was just sugar. I'm nothing processed. So it's like
Yeah.
one of those. Yeah, it's totally fine. I actually really look forward to doing it every year. I've done it 3 years in a row. I have a lot of weird food allergies. Are you allergic to anything?
Avocado.
What? How strange. How did you figure it out? Have you always been allergic to it, or is it a new thing?
No, it's a very nice I have a gag reflex with it, so the moment I consume it, it shoots right back up. And it shoots out
Oh,
even if I know it's there or not, which is how I put two and two together and decided that I never wanted to eat it again, and it happened on numerous occasions.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have lots of foods like that, but I don't think I'm allergic to them. I just don't. I have a consistency thing, like so. I don't
Right.
like mushy things. But anyway, well, I recently figured out that I was allergic to tomato,
So
garlic.
like mushy peas is not your thing.
Mushy peas are not my thing, but
Yeah.
tomato and garlic, like things like Italian food and Indian food are basically my favorite things in the whole world, and I'm not supposed to eat any of them. I got prescribed an EpiPen.
For tomatoes and garlic, for
And
Indian food, they're like, you can't have Indian food, here's your EpiPen.
basically, like it was my allergist was like when I went in for testing, she was like, okay, so you've had a pretty big reaction to tomatoes, garlic, and red pepper, and she like leaned over and was like, I guess you won't be eating Italian food. And I'm like, my second favorite food, but my first favorite food is Indian food. And she's like, oh, bummer. But
Yeah.
so then she prescribed me an EpiPen, which I feel absolutely ridiculous about because I don't feel like I'm that allergic. So that felt like that was overkill. But anyway, so I'm doing this cleanse thing to try to reintroduce foods in to see what level of allergies. This is so boring. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is what
I appreciate it.
becomes you're a rock star. In my previous life, I was a rock star, and now I'm a boring lesbian who talks about food allergies on the internet.
You know what? I would like to reaffirm myself in this moment though, and all of a sudden it scrolled through. Although the comments got a little frozen, but I've come up on a bunch of people who are like, avocado is a common food allergy, and I'm like, yes, thank
Oh,
you, because
that's fascinating.
every single person's reaction. This has nothing to do with love or lust or Lover's Day or anything, but we're going to continue to talk about it.
Yeah.
Everybody's reaction is like, really? But it's so delicious. And I'm like, I'll take your word for it. Anyways, moving on from our digestive tracts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the
Fair?
record, I don't love avocado, so I wouldn't be sad if I was allergic to that. I would trade that
Okay.
for tomato in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I guess my reaction to you could be like, oh man, tomato, that sucks. Because
Yeah.
look, we're still stuck on the food. I
I
love
know.
tomatoes
Okay, so
too,
let's move on. So
but
wait,
yeah.
let's get on to it. It's Lover's Day.
It's Lover's Day. Okay, so I have, true to form, a couple of sort of questionnaires. One's kind of a game. One is actually a task list for you. Let's be real.
Great.
It started off as a game and then it just became a task. So I was on the interwebs and I was peeking around and I was like, okay, what are some good greeting cards for Lover's Day, right?
Okay. Okay.
And the ones that there were some decent ones I found. I'll read you some of the ones that I found. However, I thought a fun little challenge game, whatever we might want to call it, a ditty, would be that we could come up with, aka you could come up with, your top 5 most honest ways of telling your wife you love her in a greeting card.
Oh, that is like, I feel like I would have needed some prep to come up with greeting card messages,
Okay,
but I
but
mean,
here,
I will do my best. But
we'll do it together. We'll do it together.
okay.
I'll read you the ones that I picked out for this purpose. The
Georgia,
first one.
could you just relax? It's getting crazy over there. Okay, sorry. Sorry, we got a puppy. You know already. I told you this, but
They're really lovely, and eventually they
turn into older dogs.
turn into older dogs who still do the same things, basically.
Yeah, a friend of mine the other day was like, "Don't worry, border collies get way more calm after they're 5." I'm like, 5? Anyway.
I have a Weimaraner, and I literally said the same words to somebody at the dog park the other day, and she was like, "That's what everyone keeps saying," and I'm like, "Because it's true." And now my Weim is like almost 9, and finally she's just like kind of mellowed.
That's
9.
absurd, but okay.
Okay,
Right.
so here we go. Here are some examples of the cards that I've seen. However, I think you and I can do better.
Okay.
Maybe even with a little audience participation, if I can get the comments to roll properly. So the first one, Happy Galentine's Day.
That's funny.
That is a good one. For all the May 4thers, I thought this would be a good one. You're the only one for me.
That's cute.
That's a cute one. I could relate to this one. I love looking at my phone next to you in bed.
Sophia and I don't do that, but that's funny.
Okay. Fair. This is what I would assume to be everyone's quarantine fave. Tonight, I won't change into pajamas until 7 p.m.
Yeah, those are all great. I don't even know why I would buy any one of those for Sophia on Valentine or on Lover's Day. Yes.
Well, and this one I think could quite possibly be the most accurate. I love you more than anything, except the dog.
That's funny. Replace chips, replace dogs with chips. I love you. I'd say to Sophia all the time, I'm like, I love you more than anything, but not more than chips. And she knows that. She's like, totally.
Fair. Yeah. Okay. Well, shall we try and come up with like a couple of our own?
Okay.
Okay. It's good. Little brain massage. I mean, if this is too hard for you, Tegan, like you can bow out at anything.
I'm a perfectionist and a lyricist, so it is a lot of pressure for me, and a Virgo, so it is hard for me to do it. I'm trying to think of things that are very like specific to my own dating history, like ridiculous things that I may have said in the past. Like for example, I have like a rule, like I think I would never let someone refer to me as baby in a relationship. For many reasons, but most specific that I think it is a very common name that people use in relationships. And so unless I am the first person you've ever dated, you've used that name many, many, many times before. And so I would prefer you use my name because I'm pretty sure you've never dated anyone named Tegan before. You know what I mean?
Imagine they have to.
Yeah, in which case...
She just has to call you something completely different. Like, I love you so much, Agnes.
Agnes, yeah. So, okay, so my first greeting card idea that I'm going to throw out would be like, Happy Lover's Day, you can call me baby today.
Aww.
Or something
does she really
like
want to call you that? Or is that just like...
No, she doesn't. I think she might have called me babe like one time. No.
There. Somebody says, I'd hop on a plane for you.
Oh, I love that. I love it. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, let's see. Well, I don't know. Do you have an idea? I just threw one out. What's yours? We've had audience participation.
Don't put Tegan in a corner. I like that one too. Quoting one of my favorite films of all time. Mine would probably be something like, oh God, I don't know. Oh,
see, it's hard. That was your game.
That was what?
I said that this was your game, and you just gave up that easily after putting me. I threw out. You can call me baby. Okay, here's a good one. I was gonna say here's a really good one. Hold on, here's a really good one. Lead with confidence.
Yeah, I would probably say something like, I will. There's nobody that I would rather ask the eternal question of what's for dinner to with. There's nobody I'd rather ask of the eternal question, what's for dinner? Where will we eat tonight? What will we eat tonight?
I love that. Immediately that inspired me.
What's for dinner? What are we going to do for dinner?
Right. That's not very romantic.
No, you wouldn't find. I don't know.
How about
Okay,
If there's ever another pandemic, I hope I get to spend it with you.
Oh, okay. See, you're winning. I love you more than I love myself.
For
That, but
you,
I
I'll agree to pick up dog shit for the next 17 years, even though I didn't want a dog. Is that too long for a greeting card?
Huh. Well, okay. God, you're upping the ante here. I'm in it. Okay, let's think. Oh my God, I'm not romantic.
Oh no.
This is all that I'm learning of myself in this game. Can we move on?
Yeah,
can you
move
just
on. You're in charge. I'm on your IG live. You lead the show. What do you want to talk about next?
Well, not about how unromantic I am. Anybody else? Help me out, guys. Come on, I'm reading your comments.
There's been some good ones actually. A lot of lyric ideas, which I like. I want to draw you a floor plan of my head and heart is one of the most romantic songs I feel like Sarah's ever written, and I think it's a very beautiful. I'm very into that. That's a very
Yeah,
OCD Virgo thing.
yeah. That's a very beautiful line. Mm,
Sarah's the real lyricist. We should be asking her for greeting card ideas.
is she also the more romantic one?
I don't know.
Somebody goes, I'd wear jeans for you. All right, Kimmel.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one.
I think, I don't know. I think that I might be more, I'm not sure. I definitely
Okay.
think I might be a little bit, we always say that Sarah's the cat and I'm a dog. So I might be maybe a little bit more gregarious and outgoing with my romance and my show of love and affection. But I don't
Mhm.
know if in a relationship, if Sarah's romantic. She's quite a romantic songwriter. So perhaps.
Right. Okay. Well, I also just received a little bit more affirmation in here, and somebody said that Aquarians are not very romantic. So I accept.
Oh,
I work on my romance though. I do try. I really try. But anyways, moving on.
okay. Where are we
I
going
have
now?
another. So this next one, excuse me, is a little bit of a game that I don't know how it's going to land at all
Okay.
because it's like, yeah, it's the newlywed game but solo style.
Okay. Okay. Suspiciously quiet over there. I just have to check and see what the dog's eating.
Yeah. Is he like eating your table?
No. Okay, Georgie. No, you can't eat that. Sorry, I'll be right back. She just says
Okay, all the
hungry.
Aquarians who are now getting mad at me for saying that Aquarians aren't romantic, I would just like to say that
Go
I
girl,
just
down.
read somebody else's thought on it.
Go
I think that
down.
I have the ability to be romantic from time to time. I personally am not the most romantic.
Look,
I should
I don't I think that there's like should be like different definitions too for like romance. Like I'm not
Yeah,
like a bring home flowers
no.
like
I'll cook you
they
a meal. I'll cook you a real good meal.
yeah, like I mean like I think we have love languages like in terms of how we prefer to receive love, but we also have love languages and how we give love. And I'm also I think as a Virgo, we're not known for being super like affectionate, warm on the outside, but I think I'm like a real like acts of service person. I love like I
Yeah.
cook and clean and do laundry, and when my partner has to get up really early in the morning, I set my alarm before her and I come down and put the fireplace on and like get coffee
Oh,
going for her. Like I feel like I show romance in different ways.
yeah, those were all very lovely things. I
So,
I also appreciate the acts of service very,
yeah.
very much. I'm also a time person. Like I think that for me it's about like quality, not quantity of time. So like the types of ways you hang out with somebody is really important. Like dedicated thought
Yeah.
time, you
Quality
know?
time. Quality time.
Quality time.
Hmm.
Quality time. Um, I just had a thought and now it's gone. So we're gonna go back to the newlywed
Marriage,
game.
newlywed game. Let's do it. I'm in.
Are you married? Are you legally
I,
married?
I am legally married.
You are legally married.
Yes,
Congratulations.
thank you. I got married 2 years ago. Like December was 2 years.
Great.
Um, and we eloped. My partner's
Aw.
name is Sophia. Yeah, I mean, we eloped only in the sense that like neither of us are wedding people. So we were we were still living in LA. We live in Vancouver full time now, but we were living in LA, and we spend a month in Palm Springs every year, and we were heading there, and we were like, let's just get married while we're there. So we did, and it was awesome. And we've been together for like 5.5 years.
Oh,
And
lovely.
yeah, and it's so weird because I was never like a marriage person. I was definitely really vocal around like the marriage equality movement, and I appreciate how just profound it is that there was, for 25 years of my life, I didn't have the right to get married. Like that's wild to think that like there was a
Mhm.
huge part of my existence where I didn't have the same rights as everyone as heterosexual people. But it was never like a big thing for me. My parents like got divorced when we were little, and my mom had a partner our entire lives, and they never married. So like for me, I didn't
Yeah.
necessarily put a lot of like significance or importance into it. But I feel like as I've gotten older, um, and my relationships have ended, there's been like a desire to have one that feels like really super substantial. And Sophia really feels like that. And it felt really, she was going to move to Canada for me. It felt like we should like really do it up. So, and it's great. I don't regret it at all. But I refer
I
to her
hope.
as my girlfriend because I,
Okay.
I hate the word wife. It sounds like couch. Like I'm like there's nothing that bothers me more, and I admit this all the time. I find it something that everyone does. It's not a straight thing. It's not a gay thing. It's like a everybody thing. There are just people that are really into being married, and there's just not. It's like a pet peeve of mine when I meet somebody, especially if they're like a friend or they work for me, and they're like, my wife, 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 my wife. I'm like, does she have a name?
Yeah.
She is not named wife. Her
No.
name is.
I'm with you. I also find it odd how we like claim somebody before we introduce them, right?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how about just this is so and so rather than this is my anything so and so.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's certain circumstances, but like if you're about to meet my partner, like if I were going to go out with somebody and they knew that I was coming with my partner Sophia, I would never be like, and here's my partner Sophia. I agree. I would never add
Yeah.
the qualifier beforehand. Like I would not be like my couch Sophia. Like I would be like, this is Sophia. Like you knew you were
Yeah.
meeting her because she's, I don't know. It's weird, but I don't mean to be judgmental in any. If people love calling their partner wife or wifey, go for it.
Do you?
Do you?
I agree. I have called my wife. She
Does she like that?
I've also called her by her name. Okay, so back
Wait,
to
how
the
long have
newly
you been married for?
I've been married for 3 years. 4 years. 3 years.
Very romantic.
3 years. Yeah. Okay,
3-ish
back to
years. Love it.
Huh?
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so since your couch won't be joining us this evening, we will play the newlywed games solo style.
Love it.
Okay, so I have a series of questions for you that I would love if you could answer truthfully
Always.
about how you think Sophia would answer. Now, I don't know if Sophia is on Instagram. I don't know if Sophia is presently watching, but if you want to join in and like type in little answers, not watching, we're not gonna have this. Yeah, okay, it's very solo. Okay, got it. Fine, fair.
I
Okay.
will tell her everything about this afterwards, and I'll make sure if anything I got wrong, if I got any of these questions wrong, I will come clean and I will tell you. I'll tell everyone.
Fair. Okay. Promise?
I swear.
Promesa?
Promise.
Okay. Really. If you were reincarnated as a dog, which breed would Sophia say you would come back as?
It's a complex question. I don't know enough about dog breeds, but like
Okay. Cat?
she knows this of me. I'm a small person, but I'm like one of those small dogs that thinks they're huge. So I would probably come back as like a Chihuahua.
Fair.
I feel like that's what she would say, but I think that answered the question.
It did.
Okay, great.
You named the breed, so that was the answer.
But in my heart, I'm like a Labrador Retriever. I'm like a very like big, loyal,
Fluffy.
Yeah, but I'm like probably in a weird way, I'm kind of like a chihuahua because I'm a small dog that thinks I'm huge.
Okay. What is the one item of clothing, or what is one item of clothing that you wear that she just can't stand?
So much. She's like, she hates prints, any prints of any kind, wording. She only wears black. She's in global warming mourning. She's a climate activist and environmentalist, and she's very sad about. So she only wears secondhand clothes and black clothes, and so she just looks at my side of the closet, which is full of like. And all I really wear is black, but she would make me get rid of everything. She like donates our clothes monthly, and she's always trying to get things out of me. But specifically, she hates anything I have that have words all over it. Like if I came downstairs in like a 1 o'clock shirt, which I don't own, she would be like, no.
She'd just send you back to your room.
She'd be like, upstairs, wife.
Wife, come on, couch. I really like that. I'm gonna roll with this one. I think I'm gonna call people couch from now on. There we go.
Yeah.
Name a celebrity other than you that Sophia has a crush on.
Name a celebrity other than me that Sophia has a crush on. Okay, that's a great question. It's funny when we got together, like whenever we would walk past like, you know, big like billboards or just posters or whatever of like really attractive women, it was like a joke between us where she would like smack me and be like, stop looking at her or whatever. Like neither of us are jealous people, so it was kind of like mostly just like a, you know, cute little game when we would walk past, especially like ridiculous, like if it was like a lingerie store and she'd be like, stop looking at them. Like I would never be interested. Like I was like, but I'm trying to think of a celebrity she even cares about. Sophia's an anomaly, man. She's like 1,000 times more interesting than me, and what interests her is not celebrity culture in any way. Like I have this really funny podcast idea that I want to have her be the host for, called like None of You Can Steal This. Actually, probably shouldn't even say this because it's actually a really good idea, but I'm going to say it anyway because you know what, whatever. But I think like, you know, whenever you see photographs of famous people, there's always like somebody you don't know next to them. And
Right.
so I want to like have her host a podcast called Plus One or Who's That? And it's basically interviewing the plus ones or the like random strangers that are always with celebrities, like because they're the more interesting people. Like if you ever see me out and about, like you should be totally interested in who I'm with. Like I think they're way less interesting than me, and so I think like
way more interesting than you.
Yeah. But I think like she's been other celebrities plus one. I'm not the only person that she's dated of from the public eye, and so I feel like she would be exceptional at this role. But I don't know.
Right.
I don't even know if she has a crush on other celebrities. She's maybe some sort of like weird environmental person or climate activist that I've never heard of.
Got it. Okay, I like this one.
Yeah.
Name a celebrity that she thinks you have a crush on.
I don't know. I don't know if she would know the name of a celebrity that I could be interested in, but I don't even know.
You're not the first celeb she's dated. I feel like she probably knows some names then. Let's give her some credit.
You're right. Good point. She does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm making her seem like she lives under a rock. She doesn't. She's 1,000 times cooler than me and knows, like, she's one of those people like that I feel like a lot of times artists attract around them, which are like stable, steady, sensible, really smart, like, you know, but not an artist, although she is actually quite artistic and she's quite creative, but she runs in many, I met her through mutual friends. She runs in a very creative circle. So she does know lots of famous people. I don't know. I don't really like, I don't really have crushes on famous people. If I had to pick somebody, I'm completely blanking right now.
You're completely blanking right now?
Yeah. Like I can't even think of, like, I'm like, who is someone that I think is attractive that I'm like, that's famous. And I'm like completely, I can't think of, all I do is consume pop culture and I can't think of anyone for some reason. I'll come back to it. As soon as I'm not thinking about it, I'll remember. So just ask me another question. Yeah, I'll come back to it.
Fine. What candy would Sophia use to describe your love life? Would it be
candy?
Candy.
Okay.
Candy. Would it be Mr. Big, Butterfinger, Eat More, Score, or Big Turk?
Score. which also happens to be my favorite chocolate bar.
So good, right? And P.S. to all of those watching, all of yous watching, those were all Canadian candy bars.
Wow. The
Yeah.
only one I don't know what Big Turk is.
Ah, Big Turk is the like red jube inside chocolate. I think
That
it's meant to
sounds
be like Turkish delight.
Got it. That doesn't sound great. I just saw someone put Harry Styles up. Yes, Harry Styles I think is really cute. I actually have like I consistently feel very crushed out on men in
Right.
the public eye, especially men that like kind of are like alternative or left leaning, like, or a little edgy, and I think Harry's a really good example of somebody who's like feels feminine, even though he's like also got this huge masculine energy. So yeah, so Harry's a good one. That's a good one. I hate just calling him Harry. Harry's such a weird name.
Don't say that to all the Harrys.
Sorry, it's not bad. I've never just called him Harry before.
Harry? Oh, meaning like he's just Harry Styles. I guess it's kind of like Prince Harry. Oh, I was trying to like, I'm like Harry,
Yeah,
Prince
Harry.
of Wales. What is it?
Prince Harry. Anyway, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Harry Styles. Okay.
Harry Styles. That's a good one. Those were all the questions.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
I did great.
I have a question for you though. So there's been a few people asking like 8 trillion times if you care to disclose Sophia's astrological sign. Do you care to disclose this information? And people, I think like people like me like to know
Yeah.
astrology.
She's a Scorpio.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
So
think somebody guessed either Aquarius or Scorpio based on how you've described her.
oh, that's
interesting.
funny. I don't really know a ton of, it's funny actually, I have quite a few Scorpios in my life. I seem to attract Scorpios, but it's my first time really delving into like astrology like this last little bit. And I will say every time I look up anything about a Scorpio, she seems, for people on here who know astrology, she's apparently like a textbook Scorpio. But I'm a textbook Virgo, so we're well suited. Yeah.
My mother was a Scorpio. No,
Oh.
my mother is a Scorpio. She is
I was-
very well alive and still with us.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you. Yes, me too.
Wait, so
And-
you're an Aquarius?
I'm an Aquarius.
What's an Aquarius? Like when's your birthday?
My birthday's January 20th. I just turned 40.
Hey,
Thank you.
happy belated.
Thank you.
Welcome to the 40 Club.
Right? It's a pretty fun club to be in. I can't lie. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. It could be 35, it could be 42. It's all feels the same, really.
It kind of does. Yeah. It really does. Yeah, Aquarians are, as far as we're air signs and we're the water bearers. So like we live up in the sky. We're very hard to get us down on earth. Dreamers, often good in like activist and arts. Activism, arts, social justice stuff.
I love that.
Activism, social justice stuff, and the arts are kind of the two areas that we excel in general terms.
Do you and your partner astrologically align?
She is a Capricorn.
That's December?
Yeah, I mean, it's like end of December into January.
Okay. My mom's a
So-
Capricorn.
Yeah. I have loads of Capricorns in my life. Tons and tons and tons. And the thing that I noticed and love about them entirely is that although unlike Aquarians who are, constantly in movement and in change and in flux and all of that, like we're air signs and water bearers, so it's like everything's just moving around us all the time, and that's great. And I'm at my best. See, I'm just moving even through this conversation. Capricorns are very grounded. They're also an earth sign and do not do well with change. So like the two are an interesting mix because,
Yeah.
That's
opposite.
I make them try new things and they bring me down to earth.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
My couch is a Capricorn, somebody just said. I love that people are like rolling with the couch thing. You've started
I
it.
think we should keep it going. Keep it going.
Totally.
Did you and your partner have a big wedding?
We had a really, like not huge, but it was really nice.
You did the ritual.
Sort of. We got married in our kitchen with the justice of the peace, and actually had a really hard. I've never talked about this before. Oh my God. I feel like it's a bit of an expose. I've exposed you for being married because I've been reading and nobody knew you were married. So there we go. You heard it here first, people. And yeah, our wedding was, we got married in our kitchen with my sis and a couple of very close friends. And then we had a party and just invited people to come party with us.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to do it. I mean, it's no judgment of people who do weddings. I
No,
can think of a lot of better ways to like spend time and energy with my friends and family than it be them staring at me. But maybe is that a musician thing? Like I feel like so much of my life is about me performing and it being about me, and it's the Tegan and Sarah show, and it's like I don't know, I wouldn't want my wedding to be like feel like a performance in any way, I guess.
Agreed. Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah.
But to each his own, you know, like that's why it's everybody's independent or individual day. Do what you got to do. Do what you want to do.
Yep. I hear you.
Yeah. Well,
so
thanks,
what did you do to celebrate your release? Can I ask you a few questions before I go?
Oh yeah, please do.
What did you do to celebrate your release? Tell me a bit about it.
Well, how did I celebrate? I walked to my favorite bakery and I bought a blueberry tart. And I came home and I ate half of it, and I'm saving the other half for post our visit.
That's incredible.
Why?
How big was the tart? Why did you only get to eat half?
It's like that.
Okay. Seems like I would have probably just eaten the whole thing.
Okay, it wasn't even that big. It was more like maybe like this. I had also just eaten dinner. It was like my dessert, so I was kind of full. And then I'm like, I don't want to, it's like once you stop enjoying every single bite, I'm like, I'm going to wait and then I'll enjoy this later.
Did you have like interviews or did like, were you nervous? Like, tell me more about, like, I haven't launched something out into the world in a while. Like,
yeah.
What was it?
No, I did. This is my only interaction with the outside world that I've had because I wanted it to be with you.
My God, I feel like I should have got you something for like, I got you this. I'll put it in the mail.
Oh, thanks. Look what's right behind me. Oh, shit. Hi, guys.
Oh, is it your plant that looks like that? Oh, yeah. I got you another one. I knew
Wonderful. They'll hang out together.
Yeah, I knew how much you like these. They're called
mother-in-laws.
Mother-in-laws. Yeah.
I like them too. They're very beautiful. I thought they were mother's tongue for the longest time, but I guess it's mother-in-law. Feels kind of rude. Like, like, why are we calling it a mother-in-law's tongue?
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. So yeah, it was a very mellow day in that sense, but it was fun. Like, I've been sitting on this tune for a while. So for those of you wondering, I have a song that just came out today called Night Danger, parentheses.
It's so great.
Mix. Did you hear it?
Yes, so great.
I am so stoked about it. We did it. So it's a reimagined version of of Night Danger, which was on my album Achikosuk. And it is performed with the Philharmonic Orchestra from Prague. So it was so fun to do. The only difference, aside from the fact that it's with an orchestra and not a band, is that in the original tune, I say fuck every 5 seconds in the song. And in this one, I don't. So it's very PG. You guys can play it for all your children and your children's children.
Did you feel that you had to change? Wait, sorry, am I echoing?
Yeah, I just saw that echo.
Oh yeah, hold on. Maybe I'll take my earbuds out then. Hold on. Is that better now? Oh no. Oh yeah. There's like an echo.
I don't hear an echo on my end. Folks, is it better? Is Tigo? Is Tegan echoing? Someone is. Am I?
Georgie down. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's a sign. Oh, it says I'm turning a bot.
Well, maybe it's just like this is the time where we should say our farewells.
Yeah, it's like the internet is telling us that it's time to say goodbye, but I just want to say this is Georgia, and she wants to say hi to everybody on the internet.
Hi, Georgia. Hi, little face.
Say hi.
Oh, darling.
Hey, I'm sorry about the echo, although now it seems like it's gone, but maybe not. But I think everybody should go and listen to your new beautiful song. My question was just going to be, did you feel you had to remove all the swear words because like the Philharmonic is so beautiful and adult that it felt trashy to swear?
It kind of did. Like, I am, I would like people to know that I, in fact, am quite trashy in my mouth. Like, I swear all the time when I'm not on like really professional camera settings and stuff. Like, I mean, I'm on a very professional, this is a very professional camera setting, Tegan. I didn't mean to degrade our experience here.
I have no offense taken.
Thank you. I feel far more comfortable swearing with you than I do with, like, you know.
I completely understand. I feel like I'm not one of those people that if I put a swear word into something, like when we go do television or do interviews where they're like, make sure you don't swear. I'm not like, I'm going to totally drop an F-bomb.
Yeah.
You know.
That's kind of what I feel like I'm going to be like Steve Carell or something and then be like, shit, and then just swear my whole way through it when somebody says not to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I removed it on this one because I felt like being a little, more refined.
I love that. Well, I know we when we spoke last week, I said, but I thought your last record was just so beautiful, and I'm glad to have not ever got to see you perform it live, but I just can't recommend you to people enough, and I just think you're so talented, and you're such a wonderful artist, and I'm really excited that you were able to be creative during the pandemic, and I'm thrilled to be here on your release day with you, and thanks for having such a fun chat.
Thanks, and thanks for playing along as you always do. I appreciate you more than you know. So
I love this shit. I love it.
Yeah.
This fucking shit is awesome.
Fucking shit, man. Fuck. It's awesome. Love is awesome. Yay, love.
And thank you to everybody who put comments on the bottom and they're all really wonderful. Thanks for supporting artists.
And we will be posting this, saving it to my reels, so it'll be up for a little while because I know there were a bunch of people messaging saying like, I have to work, I won't make it live. So if you're here, you're watching it live anyways, but for those who want to tell others or whatever you might want to do, it will be up later.
It's great. Well. I'm going to make Sophia watch and we'll find out if I answered the questions.
Oh yeah, and then you can let me know, and I am very excited to know what which candy bar she would in fact refer to you or think you love like.
I'm pretty sure she would say Score because she knows how much I like Score bars, so I have a feeling I got that one right for sure.
All right. Well, good night. Thanks, Tegan, and good night, everybody. Hope you had fun. Keep sucking thin. Talk to you next time.